Did you push play
I sure did.
and record simultaneously? I guess play record is kind of a thing of the past, right? October the 5th, 2018. This is the daily Landsblog. So let me tell you about my next, 24 hours. I will be momentarily going out to speak to a group of firefighters in Toronto. A group of firefighters that put their lives on the line, that see things that are really scarring, that many of us would probably be haunted by forever if we just saw them once. But these people see those kinds of things regularly. And I think the assumption is that, well, unless I hear otherwise, I'm going to assume that you're okay. And I think that's the exact opposite way to deal. I think that we should make the assumption that in something like firefighting and in something like policing and in something like being a paramedic, first responders, military, I think we make the assumption that everybody who sees the kinds of things that they see, that faces the risk that many of them face, will suffer some ill effect. So if you go with the assumption that, hey, everybody that's in front of me is going to suffer at some time from PTSD-like symptoms or PTSD, then I think you're way better off, as opposed to, shh, we don't talk about it. No one talks about it. But, hey, you know what? If you're struggling, you should come to us and tell us. That is such an antiquated system because the normal human condition, the way our brains operate, we are not designed to experience what first responders experience. And the next thing I'm going to do is jump on a plane, fly to Fredericton, New Brunswick. Never been there before. Probably never would have ended up there if not for that one day in October of 2009, when casually I mentioned on Off the Record the fact that I suffered from depression. And then I saw this reaction. And that changed my life. So think about this. Think about how fortunate I have been in my unfortunate circumstances. And ask yourself, could this possibly apply to you? So I ended up sharing once and I found out the power of sharing. And since that time, I've done a lot of sharing and found out a lot of times just how impactful it can be. So I ask you this question, is it because I work on television or worked on television? It's because I have some kind of recognition factor? Or is it simply the fact that when you talk about your struggles with mental illness without shame and embarrassment, if it's simply that fact, couldn't you do it? Like I do it? Now, you may not get the same platforms as I get because of my career, but that doesn't really matter, does it? Whenever you're around other people, if you would just mention it, I promise you, nothing bad would happen and only good. I promise you, if you talk about your struggles with mental illness to your family, to your friends, to your place of work, to your hockey team, anything, if you say it, not only will they not perceive you as being the weakest person in the room, but they'll see you as the strongest person in the room. And someone at some time will come up to you and say, oh, thank you so much for doing that. Hearing you changed my life. Just a thought. No obligation to do that. Just a thought. SickNotWeak.com, 24 hours a day, 364 days a year. We're here because my string of somewhat manic type Landsblogs continues. How many is this in a row, Case?
This is 3.
Oh my God, 3 in a row. And there's no stopping me. Let's do 4 right now. Let's do it right now. I'm ready to go.